Hello, fifth grade. This is your math video for Friday, December 3rd, 2021. And we're looking forward to coming back on Monday after everybody's quarantined this week. And I know many of you probably weren't sick at all, but we had enough that it was important that we kept everybody away. But we'll be back on Monday. And of course, the work you should have kept up with. And as I talked to Mrs. Hicks yesterday, she was in the classroom and she was gathering some stuff to be able to take home, so she's feeling a lot better. So continue to pray for her. She is concerned about you all as well and how you are doing, and so make sure that you pray for her as she's been praying for you. And so we look forward to your math lesson today, and also don't forget about that creative writing contest, which I mentioned and talked about in the Bible lesson. And so make sure you do that and listen to that. So that you can get the information, but you remember it's about the poetry and about short story that you're prepared for next Thursday. All right, well, today we're talking about lesson 57, and lesson 57, I'm sorry, not 57, 55. Lesson 55 is about solving two-step word problems. And so, again, as we're getting into these word problems, as you have to deal with them more and more, what you find is that the biggest issue is understanding what's written, understanding what you're reading. That is not unusual for your age group, as I've been working with them since 2007, working with 5th and 6th graders in class, and that's the one thing that I try to make your age group to understand, and that is pay attention to detail. Understand what you are working with, what the information is, and how to interpret it, to use it properly or apply it properly in what you're doing. So let's start our lesson with using the example there. And so the example that you have there is basically a two-part problem. It's got two things that it's talking about three different people. You know two different pieces of information, and so from that pieces of information, you have to figure out the third. So here's what it says. It says, Bill is 5 years older than Robert. Robert is 3 years older than Sally. Sally is 15 years old. How old is Bill? And so you get the idea of this, okay? So what they have you do, or what they want you to do, is they want you to do comparisons using pictures, okay? So I'm not going to, well, we can do what they have in the picture, all right? So in the picture, they show you the difference, or the comparison of Bill and Robert, because that's the first thing they give. All right, so Bill and Robert, they have the picture like this, and what they have is that Bill is 5 years older than Robert. And so we can say this part is plus 5. So Bill is Robert plus 5. Okay? And so it's plus 5 more than Robert. Then you have a comparison Robert to Sally. So we'll put Sally right next to Robert. That way you can compare that. And that one's a little bit different. That means that Robert is plus 3 from Sally. All right, so this is kind of, I did it the way that they did it in a sense, but I just put them all next to each other. Now, doing it this way helps you to understand what you need to do for each part. So we know Sally is how old? Sally is 15. So if Sally is 15, plus 3 for Robert would be, okay, 15 plus 3, which is 18. Hopefully you figured that one out. Then Bill is 5 years older than Robert, and so we add another 5 to the 18, and that gives you 23 as his age. And if you look at the bottom there of your page number 209, then you see that 23 years old is the proper age. That was not terribly difficult. Some of you might have a little bit of difficulty, but if you draw a picture for each one, pictures can help you a lot in knowing what to do. So let me give you one just to practice yourself and see how you do in this one. So I'll write it up. I'll press pause so it'll come up here in a minute, so you don't have to sit there and wait while I'm writing it. Okay, there's your word problem, and so you can read to yourself. It says CVBS has 94 elementary students. If they put 27 in the first classroom, 21 in the second classroom, and 18 in the third classroom, how many students would be in a fourth classroom? All right, so go ahead and figure out your problem, put it on pause, and then I'll turn it off, and then I will show you the answer. All right, so if you're trying to figure out the answer, you still haven't figured it out, pause. I'm going to show you in just a second here. The answer would be 26 students. All right, and that's because you add the first three together, you subtract from the original 94, and I'll show you the work here. So you have 7 plus 27 plus 21 plus 18. 7 plus 1 is 8 plus 8 is 16. Carry the 1, and that's going to be 66. And so 66, you take 94 and you subtract the 66 you already have, and that's going to be, and I'm going to show you the work here in just a second. All right, and so there's the work for that, and that's what you would do, and so you end up with 28 students. All right, what did I say? Oh, I said 26. Oh, my bad. All right, it's supposed to be 28 students, as I said the first time. See, even teachers can make mistakes as well. That's why you check your work. See, I did it in my head, and it didn't work, and so it's a good thing that I worked it out afterward. So that we can make sure we got the right thing. So there's your work actually, 28 is the answer, and there's the work for it. So I hope that that is good enough for you to be able to figure out what you're supposed to do, and that was just a practice I put together, but make sure that you have any questions. Again, you can call me, and I'll be glad to help you out if I can. All right, have a good day. Look forward to seeing you guys Monday. Bye.